So, Misty, I really do, first off, I want to applaud you and commend you for using your gifts, because I don't know. First off, for me, I just want to say, like, that must be, I with autism, I know it's different and not appropriate, but it could be just, I can use my autism, my ADHD, autism, ADHD, anxiety disorder, OCD, processing delay, I'm sober 5 years of, alcoholism and addiction, use these things as ways that these can be things that, oh, whoa, but I can use these as ways to express the world in a beautiful way, sober and just living life. That then it influences my poetry, my art, different ways of expressions and viewpoint of life. And I think it's awesome that you can use your synesthesia, yes, your grooviness in many different various ways. Yes, I use that term to the point that it's becomes, I put it in the ground in a groove stone.
You are groovy.
Thank you. And just to be of service in that way. And I found, like, might there be in the future of, having like a degree in, for art therapy or certain things, maybe, I don't know, has this been something that you've thought about, or getting licensed as, because it really sounds like something that could be,
yes, and I'm working towards getting my degree in art therapy.
Awesome. Well, I must have had a premonition for that. I don't know. We'll
see.
Synchronicity. But and so, especially this world, we need kind of grounding in everything. If we look at the political climate and everything going on, and as January approaches, and who knows what's going to happen, and hopefully, thank God that there'll be a different someone else. I don't know about for you, but someone else in office. I think that there's just so much going on, and I think we all need just a bit more of just, I guess, grooviness. We need we need ways to uplift. And I wondered, like, I could just see projects of you, like, doing things for hospitals, or certain things of using painting, or certain things as ways to be of service. And and
service,
absolutely. And so also I want to talk a bit also about your poetry. I know also that you have a book that came out recently, about a couple months or so ago, that I have. I actually got it. It's Human Reauction. Yeah. And it's very lovely. And you did this art, right?
Yes, I did.
What were you painting? What were you listening to any classical music or something when you did this?
Actually, on this one, I was listening to, I believe it was Bach at the time. Bach and another classical composer when I was creating this one. And I want to point on this. If you look at the center of the book, and you see the silhouette of the girl there, that's
right.
That's my profile.
Right here. You mean this part?
It's right here in the center.
Yeah, this part, right?
Yes.
Oh, that's actually your profile. So you're like looking in the mirror or something when you did that, or what?
It's like a reflective portrait of me.
Wow. I'd love to see the actual piece. I'm sure you have the actual painting of that. And I just want to say, for those of you who don't know, that also Misty is you're doing the synesthesia art for the OTSCPs, for the Assiduous Dust anthology, that you're doing the that you're doing of synesthesia renderings, listening to the OTSCPs, which I hope we'll get to at the end.
Yeah.
We definitely will.
Oh, yes.
And I'm super looking forward to, so I can vouch to
Me
the
too.
amazing quality of Misty's
Excited.
work. But with regard to your poetry, so you have that of human reaction. I know also that you've done work with that you're the poet laureate with, as you've mentioned, with Fire Eagle Ministries. And how have you, because was it first, have you shifted more towards poetry, of getting more into it, like it's first with art, and okay, let me shift? How has that worked? Because a lot of people, I bet, think, oh man, they just know me or certain things from your art, or even
Right.
like Josh is, oh man, he's just talking about my synesthesia stuff. Why does everybody just talk about that? I want to get into the poetry. I want to get into the other things. And that must get annoying. That must be something that happens a lot.
When I first started writing poetry,
Mhm.
actually, I've been writing since I was 13, which was, I would say, more of my coming out phase, even with my synesthesia, because really, I didn't really grasp my gift to its fullest potential
So
until
do the two play off each other, is what you're saying? Or
yes, and I started writing poetry when I was 13. And at that time, I've been I had been through a lot of stuff at the time and before that, and I had all these feelings bottled up, and I had to have somewhere to go with it. So art and painting and listening to music and writing poetry has been my tool that God has shaped me into, to use that as to be an expression of my emotions. So I've used all these forms of art, whether it be painting, music, and writing poetry.
your
And it's
tool
all
belt.
come together, to correlate with each other and project a different interpretation of like who I am. It's like my personality
Because it
really
goes back
shows
for
when,
identity. It goes
yes,
back, and it
it's
all
like
goes back to that.
my identity. And this is how I show my identity, how I express
Mm.
my identity, how I feel. So they're using art and poetry, writing poetry, has all helped me get through and deal with emotions, spiritually. And it's really helped me. And I started helping in a peer mentoring group when
Mm.
I believe it was my senior year in high school. And I was helping students, deal with what things that they had going on, or, things that they couldn't let go.
Right.
So I helped them and got them to use tools to help them like get rid of anger, help them
Right.
get rid
And
of,
that's just, that's what we call being a mensch. It's a,
yes.
in,
And
in
so
Judaism.
I've helped them and got them to use art therapy tools, whether, art or poetry or music, any of
Mm.
these. So, by doing that, that's really been a huge influence in not only my life, my career, and
But also as
just,
a person, I'm feeling, wow, I'm
yes,
doing
as a
something.
person.
And do you still keep in touch with any of these individuals? Do they write back, or certain things where it's like, I want to let you know how we have little things of gratitude, or certain things that we impact so many individuals on our day to day, but we don't always get. Sometimes people will share a little glimpse of the role that you played in their lives, and when you get that, and
Right.
it's like having a very groovy dessert. gluten-free and dairy-free for me, of course, always dietary restrictions. But it's like a spiritual chocolate, chocolate devil's cake or whatnot. Or I don't know. It's like, and when you have that, it then it opens so many doors. Sometimes it also, when there's certain things that are blocking your, that block me, and I'll get something like an email. I want to let you know that you helped me with this, or I'm like, that ends up then opening the doors to do more. Are there any individuals from these schools or from art programs that have offered little glimpses to you, and how has that? Yeah.
Yes, and I have had some to contact me. Again, I've been out of school for a while, but I have had some over the years, last few years actually, contact me again, and they're like, thank you for helping me, or thank you for helping turn my life around.
Oh, wow.
Because of you, now more in shape. I mean, it could be anything, any little situation they had going on.
And I feel like that kind of stuff, especially in the climate that we're in, really helps tremendously.
And, even some that, was just totally out of their mind. And there was like, thank you for giving me the strength and the encouragement to go to college, just to go to college and get a degree.
Because that can be a scary thing, also if you're taking out loans or whatnot, or who knows what, or let's say if it's something that's completely different than like what your folks want, or who knows what, it could be, you never know where you help someone.
Right.
And so I wondered, would you share, do you have a poem about, one of these experiences, or reflecting upon one of these experiences of being of help or of service to someone that you could share with us today? Or perhaps something indirectly related, if not directly?
Actually, let's image right here.
And while you're finding that, what is your favorite color?
You're asking me what my favorite color is. Oh gosh, that's kind of hard.
Are they going to be jealous if you choose one, or it's going to be like they're going to haunt you because because if you see colors of stuff, all that, will they like start being like, pick me?
Pick me. Pick me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Actually, my favorite color is, I would have to say, turquoise, because it's such a powerful color. It's a color of healing. So it has a lot of meaning, and it has a lot of meaning to me. And I've always used a lot of turquoise. And actually, a lot of my paintings, I've always used some turquoise at least, because it projects the healing properties. So when somebody's looking at the painting and they see all these different colors of the color wheel and the color theory projected in the interpretation, they can feel like they've had a sense of healing come over them. So it's a really powerful color, and it's always been part of my identity.
Absolutely. So do you have that do you identified the piece?
Well, actually, okay, this is a poem that I wrote back in 2017, and really this is about me. It's from experience. So I felt like really this one just kept going back. I kept going back to this one.
Then let's hear it. Let's hear it.
It's called Beyond the Veil. Beyond what was hidden underneath and unseen. Beyond obscure visions, my heart reflecting images outwardly, reaching for faith. Eyes of hope revealed from light blue, tattered and torn cloth that hanged over my eyes. My hands slowly removing shiny, sleek red satin to open my eyes to love with an open heart that blossoms with care. Removing the dark draped cloak that hanged with fear, that weighed me down, where doubts and despair dove deep within my skin, that weeps for the light of heaven. Light removed the veils with a courageous heart, seeing the unseen truth and beauty within. A reflection of hope, love, honor, and truth. When you see within and beyond the obvious, toward the glorious unseen, when your focus becomes the light.
Wow. Snap,
And
snap, snap, clap, clap, clap. Round of applause. That's what we do here, by the way. We do that. Yeah, snap, 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 clap, 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 round of applause. No, and that's.
I want to say
could you
something
read
quickly.
the last line? Can you read the last two lines?
The last two lines.
Yeah, those are. It's just.
You see within and beyond the obvious, toward the glorious unseen, when your focus becomes the light.
Oh, yeah. And then that when your focus becomes the light, and that's a redirection, and we all have the ability to. And I don't know. I don't think that it's that I determine my focus becoming the light. I feel like it's a thing that happens, and you get to witness it, if that makes sense. But I think your perspective over time shifts. Yeah.
Spiritually witness it.
And so how has, you were going to say about the piece, where were you particularly when you composed that? You said it was 2017?
Yes. If I remember correctly, I was, at the moment, I was up in my room, and I was just kind of like feeling all these different emotions, and it was like the light was coming through my window at the time. The light was coming through the window, and I could feel this aura come over me. It was kind of almost like an outer body experience, but not like you weren't there yet, but kind of in between, like
Right.
in a dimensional sense, so it was kind of like that in the moment. And like those last two lines, you see within and beyond the obvious, or the glorious unseen, when your focus becomes the light. The light was helping me to see what I needed to see, so I could refocus on.
And in a way, you were the light before you were the light, because in the focusing, it's kind of like, I don't know, and, I was listening to a Hasidic lecture of Judaism earlier, and that, there's this thing of this notion of that, in fact, that God isn't the Father, or God isn't the whatever, you're witnessing it as being part of something. So in a way, you're absorbed in something. There can't be, and it's just interesting. I don't know why I'm thinking about that. It's just weird thoughts that come to mind.
I can see why you're thinking that.
Yeah, and there's this notion that you become the thing when you're removed from something, and it's kind of like experience. You don't see how something can be particularly useful until you're removed from a situation.
Right.
to observe. The same thing with science and things, that we need to remove ourselves from the experiment in order to have an experience conducting the experiment and testing things. Just like a lot of the times, a lot of the political situation, in order to look at history and observe, you need to look back at the past. You need to be
Right.
removed
And
from the
it's like
past in order to look at it.
you're removing the veil of the past. You're removing the veil of the past so that you can see the now and the future. So you're not
Yes.
dwelling on the past.
And
You're,
creating a reverberation, a resonance that
yes,
interferes, a blockage.
right, removing the blockages and removing those suppressed thoughts and, removing that and lifting the veil so that you can see what is in front of you,
Right.
so that you can accept and move forward.
Absolutely.
And I want to point on this right quick.
Mm-hmm.
On this particular poem, it was published in the Alabama Baptist.
Okay.
It's published in 2017, around March, I believe it was. And it was published there, and it was also published with Fire Eagle Ministries.
Okay.
It was read during their service too, and that was in 17, I believe. I'm looking at a few notes here because I keep notes like down here where it's been read at.
Terrific. Is that part of a collection in progress, or is that currently in human reaction? Or no?
I don't have that one in human reaction, but
Mm-hmm.
this one is just kind of used basically for ministry and academic study.
Well, there's the mysticism of MYSTI that'll be in the works in 2022. Maybe now it has to be. It has to be now.
Yes.
Okay. The MYSTIism of MYSTI, or just MYSTI the Mystic. Why not? Yeah. So tell me, for human reaction, how did you kind of find yourself? Because also, how did you kind of get started with that? Like, tell me the story behind this. I enjoyed reading this, and what did you find? Because you also have space of areas for thoughts and visual sketches, which is
Right.
something that's isn't typical in poetry books. And what was kind of your reasoning for that? Was there a day where, oh wow, boom, I need to put this, and that became, or was that always the idea when you had was that always a thought when you had the original idea for the collection? And would you share a bit about that?
Okay. Yeah, originally, when I first was writing this collection of poetry, because it has to do with your emotions. So, I was like, I really kind of want to set this up like a journal to where you can write in it. So if you're like reading a poem, you can reflect on it, and then you can write your thoughts on how you feel about the poem in particular. So,
as a human,
yes,
or as a humanoid reaction. Yeah.
And I also wanted to put that in there too, because where pastors can make reference, or if they want to reference, like if they're reading a poem, say like Black and Blue, they can read that and be like, oh, okay, well, I can reference that back to a Bible verse so that they can notate that Bible verse in the column where you can write. So that was another reason why I set it up like that, because I wanted to be more outreach.
And not just for but also for different faiths as well. I guess it's not 100%. I know that a lot of your work has very focused on, what is it? Oh, forgive me. Is it Baptist, or what is it? Or what is it? Is it
Baptist. Baptist is. Anyways, okay, I want to say this. When I wrote this book, I started off. I think it took me really about 3 months.
Okay.
To actually write all the poems. There's like 24 poems in here, I believe, and it really took me about 3 months to write the poems. And from that, I just edited a lot. But I wanted to write this book because it will help people deal with their emotions by being more transparent. And I wanted them to feel like that they could, interact with it in a way that it helps them through depression or.
Yeah, that it's not just a one-dimensional thing,
No.
a bare surface, and that's really what we need. Because we need a conversation, and especially as we know, as writers, have to have a conversation with other writers, but also as a way to outreach and give back. Why not? Give some space in the margin, or give some stuff. Yeah, why not give a full page? Why not? The individual's worth it. They deserve it.
Yeah, and it was like when I wrote this book, I was kind of at a stage in life where there are so many emotions going on.
Paint us a picture. Where what's going on in your world? What's share with us what's going on.
Gosh, right now it's just like I can see all these images in my mind right now, and it's like reflecting back, and it's like a spiral of emotions. It just kind of comes over you, and it's okay. And I'm sitting here like, okay, it's like the empathy that I have. I'm the empath, so trying to put away these emotions and pick up on these. And so when I was writing some of these poems in here, there's a couple in here in particular that where I was like at a certain place. I don't remember where exactly, but I was at a certain place at that time, and I could feel all these people, and some was dark, some had this aura that I could hear their voices, and they weren't even speaking.
They weren't able to speak, or
They weren't able to speak. They were not able to speak.
That sounds like oppression.
And at the time, that's where I was at the time. But it was like and then so I was like trying to express those emotions transparently when, I was just like, okay, well, okay. And it's like a glimmer of hope when I started writing his poems, and it just everything just kind of poured out, and it was all just kind of flowed right on out, and it just came all at once. Some poems I would just like write them within like 5 minutes. Some would just come that fast. And I could also feel the colors come into play, because I do that kind of with my synesthesia too. So I was seeing the colors in the poetry.
Wow. Well, write it. That must be annoying.
It was kind of annoying.
Yeah.
But I had to really break through that to see like the image itself. And that's kind of hard to explain, because I've never really explain that per se. It was like a plethora or a wave of all the emotions and colors coming together, and sometimes
Almost something like hitting you in the
crashes.
chest and moving through you like a wave, crashing through you.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
this is something I felt once. I remember I was early sober, and I wanted to drink or use, and I really didn't want to, but I felt a part of me, and I was actually praying for God to basically just, okay, just please, just strike me down now because I don't want to drink, I don't want to use, and something literally just so I was just crying and asking God, just kill me now because I don't want to go use. And so as I'm crying, huddled over, and I actually was just on my bed and just, I think I was kneeling or something, or I was just like on the floor and just on my knees, and I was like, please. And so something just, I felt eventually of these tears as I say, just God, please kill me, of this wave of hope and peace just wash over me, and all these different feelings. So I have these dark feelings and light and all this stuff, and just hit me right in the stomach as just almost like a wave washes over and goes
Yes.
through me, through my body outward. But this is, I'm sure you've,
I
and
feel that.
that's the best way I can feel that. And what I'd say is that's like grace or redemption or whatnot of that. But of course, those words don't give us justice. There are certain terms that words lose their meaning because words describe situations and they are labels to describe something. So of course, they're limiting, especially for even some situations, like I said, and a lot of your feelings or different things that are going on for you, that they're limiting. Words become a limit,
Right.
which must be annoying as well. Uh,
Yes.
no, but I just, it brought me down to memory lane of remembering that
And
experience I
I feel,
had.
and I feel that, and you know, I've prayed through poems, and sometimes the poems were just so hard to write that I had to ask God to um, touch me differently in order for me to fully grasp and experience that emotion, to project that emotion into the
To
poem,
open you.
to open me up, yes. And it's a way that I had to um, express what I was feeling at the time. And it just kind of took me over there for a while when I was trying to write several of these poems. And it was kind of difficult to write some of these, but I wanted to because I knew it was going to be of better service to the people. And that's just me and how I want to help and serve others.
Absolutely. And Misty the Mystic, would you give me a second to sip some water? Oh,
That's too late.
this is my glass of water I have.
Cheers.
Of
Cheers.
yeah. Cheers. Chink. Yeah. Don't want to get the camera wet. So, would you, Misty the Mystic, would you please be of spiritual service and be open to walking on the river freely over the canvas of stars and bleed joy of groovy, messy mastery emotion and react with me freely into the OTSCE on the spot collaborative poem. I said it was going to be a weird, awkward introduction. Did it live up to its introduction? Did it live up to it?
Groovy, groovy, groovy.
Thank you. That's my favorite word. So, you have, let me get this out. You have the books out. Boy, I have my books out. So, I have a bunch of books out. And Misty, you have, I'll just show mine. You don't have to show yours if you want. If you want, you can.
Okay.
For the
Right here.
OTSCP on the spot collaborative poem. So, what books you have selected for us today, Misty?
Okay, the books I have selected. Yes. Okay, the first one is Leonardo's Notebooks, Leonardo da Vinci, edited by
Who's that by?
edited by H. Anna Sue, and that's
Okay.
SUH.
Okay, and what pages do you have that open to?
Okay, that would be page 96 and 97 on that one.
So that's number one. Number two.
Number 2 is Leaves of Grass by Walt Whitman.
Whoever that guy is, right?
Okay, and
that's out to.
Go ahead.
That's out to what pages?
It is page 16 and 17.
And for number three?
Number 3, Theopoetic. It's the Theology and the Religious Imagination by Amos N. Wilder. And that's page 56 and page 57.
And are those the... Oh, do you have another one for us?
One more.
Okay.
Okay, and the last one is Synchronicity.
Oh, wow!
Synchronicity, the Magic, the Mystery, the Meaning by Dr. Kenneth Harris.
Nice.
Yeah.
And that's out to what pages?
To 132 and 133.
Awesome. Grooviness. So I have out The Holographic Universe by Michael Talbot. I'm not sure how to pronounce his name. He's some groovy dude. And I have that to pages 72, 73. It's talking about vortices of thought and multiple personalities and holotropic therapy. Then I have out, this is a groovy anthology I've actually been part of for poetry. David Duffy, also a friend of the show, has been on as well as, and it's also edited by Thelma T. Reyna. Rena. And she's a friend of the show, been on for Assiduous Dust. And it is when the virus strikes, when COVID-19, when the virus came calling, when COVID-19 strikes America, of real-time of essays and poems and of that. And this is God Is by Edward Vidrare. I might be mispronouncing his last name. And it's 190 to 191. And for number 3, I have Ellen Mabey, who's also been on the show, great individual. I have The Cowardice of Amnesia, and I have that open to pages 70 and 71, which is the first 2 pages of her title poem, or not title poem, but it's her poem, an Ellen Mabey poem. It is. And I have out to, it's actually unlisted, so it's in between pages 32 and 33, I believe, of, or in between 32 and 34, called, of Gregory Corso's The Happy Birthday of Death. It's a great poetry book, and it's of the poem is Bomb. It's actually out. It looks really cool. By the way, it's so it kind of goes out, slides down, so it's an unlisted page in between 32 and 34. So the way it works is wherever our eyes kind of go, we kind of say the words and we construct a new line that way, and go back and forth, and it'll either end in a masterpiece or a masterpiece. We'll see. Would you like to start us off, Misty?
Okay, sure. At a considerable distance, denser shows us particles of dust. Stand. Proofs of souls. Moving of somatic existence. Synchronicities happen.
Observes patient history dance. Twin crash. The iron hotlines. Cooks. Electric man. I scope to figure shines. Strong tech of any ventilator.
Larger parts left in landscapes appears blue in the sunbeams, a dark nakedness masters sunlight. Fantasy manifestation.
I unfazed. Walls of God, kick streaming youth, painting anorexic, do binging, change, ceremonial carnivals, caricature, cumulative.
Indistinguishable perception. A blue hue. Reality. Quailed. Creaturehood in the spirit. Feelings. Blindly trust.
Smoke, the creator of, of niche cusp, the air at some bitter place, emotionally spectacular dynamite hosanna, my own feeling of swamp diameter rising. I listened to God, the planner of recipes.
Details. Assume. Color. twined, promises, wisdom, speak, spiritual levels.
Come sweep the green cruel, a roof of equal motherhood, significant fans trying to approach scientists' profound sounds, speeding sky, the ultimate smoker, a syndrome stutter, a hymnody unfeeling, no feeling.
The rest, mist, hides. Between it, the eye, distance, field, impregnated, color of clouds, in bright lights. Miracles, test, wisdom, cosmic, dreams.
Making hyphens in God's coffee house. Next, Zeusian, sadless Pushkin kid. The history uses the therapist to change the template over mountains, breathing celestial sandals, song, a piano throws my lungs, consciousness, non-drug.
Show, there, illuminated side, which intervenes, evaporated, brilliancy, appear, density, philosophy, ecstasy, with inspiration, life, manifestation, lives.
The safety of Sikero. I better live when I preview the other knowing away into soil, naked, unfazed by stars, yoga strain, gloves, discovered the associate and elusive world of disciplines, reality.
Occurs at night. Indicated experience. That air must have darkness. Divided its true color. In the beauty unspeakably builds this that a Wordsworth can speak of. Feelings beyond space and time.
Ooh, that's a nice ending. I like that. That's a good ending, right?
Hey. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much. I will type that up and send to you. Misty, do you have an idea for a name for that? Did you see any colors when doing that, or certain things? How did that feel like? I'm curious, particularly curious, given your background.
I felt like that was called synchronicity.
Oh, definitely. That's definitely the title, Synchronicity.
Because I felt like it really just kind of moved, like we were moved in the moment.
Exactly. Yeah. So,
yes.
Thank you so much.
Thank you,
Misty,
Josh.
absolutely. Human Reaction, everyone. And check out Misty's work. Misty, do you have a website? Of course, I'll post links. Is there a website? Are you on any social media platforms or places where people can look you up or purchase your work, or contact you for events or whatnot?
Yes. Okay, you can reach me on Twitter at Misty Art Pro, or on Instagram at, I believe it's Misty Milwee. You can just type in my name. You can find me on Facebook. I have an art page there as well. MSM Art, Misty S. Milwee. And you can find my book, Human Reaction, on Amazon, or you can contact me directly. And I do have copies available on hand if you would like an autographed copy. So if you want one autographed, I can do that for you. Just contact me directly. And you can also view my web page at www.misty, Milwee.com/WordPress, no, .wordpress.com.
Awesome. Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Misty. It's been an honor. And please do check out Misty's work. Thank you so much, and have a groovy day.
Thank you, Josh, and I appreciate you for having me. It's an honor.
And I
Appreciate you.